What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, it is another episode in my What I've Been Playing series. We are on episode number 9, and this is the monthly series where I like to just have a chill, casual conversation, talk to you guys about the games that I've been playing, some videos that you might want to expect down the line, and some plans for the month and in the future next month, stuff like that. There's a lot of games coming out. There's a lot of games I want to talk about. Some games I've been playing, some games that are coming out soon. There's a lot to talk about. It's a very busy time of the year in terms of gaming. So let's go ahead, dive right in, and talk about what I've been playing. Really quick, before we dive into what I have been playing, I always like to do a monthly recap of the previous month. So now in October, so I want to quickly talk about September. Since the last What I've Been Playing video, I only put out 3 videos, and obviously I want the output to be there, but at the same time I want to take the time with these games that I play and be able to, make the video that I want with these games, and also be able to give my thoughts, take my time with them, and not rush through them. So I did put out a revisiting Repo and Headliners video, going back to these games after months of not playing, months of updates, seeing what's new, and also just some funny moments from those games. Still planning on doing reviews for those games because I want to be able to include them on my list at the end of the year. So I want to have reviews out for those games. I want to go back, play a little more co-op, maybe even play a little bit more solo to really see what these games are like. If you kind of take away the funny moments aspects from these games and just kind of dive into how good the game actually is. So I did do a revisiting Repo and Headliners video. I did put out my first time finishing Ghost of Tsushima, and very excited to finally be able to say that. That was one that was in the works. I'm pretty sure I had that in the What I've Been Playing episode 6 video, so that took a long time to finish and get that video out, but I was happy with the game and the video that I was able to put out ahead of Ghost of Yotei, which we will talk about in a little bit. But really enjoyed Ghost of Tsushima, enjoyed that game a lot. Have a almost hour-long video out on the channel about that, and surprisingly, I was able to finish Hades for the first time and put that video out and give you my thoughts on that game. Really enjoyed Hades. In that last video a month ago or a couple weeks ago, I was planning on putting down the game, but then just a couple of days after that video came out, at the Nintendo Direct, Supergiant comes out and announces the 1.0 release date for Hades 2. So I had to get Hades done and out of the way so I could go and play Hades 2, which we'll talk about in just a minute. So that kind of changed plans. That really brought a kind of big game to September that I was not expecting, and obviously not going to be able to get that video out for Hades 2 in September, but I want to be able to get that video out pretty soon. So to be able to do that, I wanted to finish Hades 1. I did. I do plan on going back to it and maybe even finishing the epilogue, but I have close to 50 hours in Hades, and I have a video up on the channel for my first time finishing Hades. So only 3 videos to talk about in between this video and the last What I've Been Playing video, but 2 big games that I finally got to knock out that I've been working on for over 2 months, and ahead of sequels that have just released. Now let's dive into the games that I have been playing, and the first one up is going to be Deep Rock Galactic Survivor. Still working through this game with Dynamite the Beast coming out. I wanted to kind of put that at the forefront, try to focus on that game a lot, but I have been playing Deep Rock Galactic Survivor here and there, playing it a little bit more now since Dynamite the Beast is done, and I don't know exact hour count yet because for some reason my Xbox PC app says that I have a lot more hours than I actually do, but I think in-game I'm at rank 12 or 13. I've done probably around 15 or so dives, and so far I think the game is pretty good. I am enjoying it. I don't usually play a lot of the kind of auto shooter, I don't know what the genre is called off the top of my head, but the only game I can compare it to that I have played a lot is Vampire Survivors, which came out in 2022. That was a big surprise hit that year. That's really the only game I have to compare it to, but I have been enjoying it. I think it's a great idea for this genre to go and take Deep Rock and put it in this genre. I think that's a great idea. There's a lot of weapons, there's a lot of variety, and the gameplay and loop of it is pretty satisfying. Leveling up your guns, messing with new builds, new ammo types and stuff like that. And it seems like for a game that was in early access and is now fully out in 1.0, there's a lot of content here to dive into. So hoping to get this review out pretty soon. Not entirely sure how much I'm going to play of it before I kind of consider it done, because there's not like a story that you go through. There's a lot of the main levels. I'll probably work through a good bit of those, see how far I can get with that, and then kind of come up with my final opinions on that. But Deep Rock Galactic Survivor, I would definitely expect this to be the next video I have out as a review. Alright, let's go ahead and talk about it. Hades 2, the big surprise announcement of a 1.0 release date, like 2 weeks out from announcement to release date. It came out on September 25th. I have played about an hour of it. I didn't want to dive into it until I was able to give it my full attention, and I'm not quite there yet, but I just couldn't hold back. I wanted to see what this game was all about, and just based on the first hour, I cannot wait to sink so many hours into this game, however long it takes for me to beat the main story. There's going to be so much content, so much dialogue. I cannot wait to dive into Hades 2, and just based off of the first hour, it just seems like it's Hades 1, but amplified to another level. And I cannot wait to see where this game goes, gameplay-wise, story-wise, you know, with the gameplay loop. How many different things are there going to be? Like, there's so much to this game I cannot wait to see, and I'm only an hour in. I'm excited to continue this. I do plan on getting this video out hopefully this month. I'm ready to dive into this game. There's a lot of games coming out, so we'll see how that goes. But I will be working on Hades 2 pretty decently. And then once I get there, putting a lot of time into it to be able to get that review out. And lastly, The Outer Worlds. Still playing this one. If I'm being completely honest with you guys, since the last video, I haven't played it at all. I've really been focusing my attention on other games, but I am going to consider this game still being played. I have thought about completely restarting my playthrough, and I might actually do that because although I did put some good time into it, I want to be able to start to finish, have this game fresh on the mind. Even though you don't really need to play it to play Outer Worlds 2, I want to be able to say that I've finished the first game before diving into the second game. So although I haven't played it since the last video, I do plan on potentially starting a new save and going through the game at the same time as I do Hades 2. I kind of want to do these games at the same time, work through them. I know Outer Worlds isn't that long of an RPG, like story-wise, and with all the side content, it's pretty condensed. You know, you're still gonna get a lot of hours out of it, but compared to a lot of other RPGs, I think it's definitely not going to take as long as you would think. So, planning on taking Outer Worlds and Hades 2 on at the same time, and obviously I want to finish Outer Worlds before I dive into 2, which is coming out at the end of the month. And now for the games that are coming out. I want to talk about my October plans and then go all the way to next month and talk about my November plans. Now all this is subject to change. I'm not entirely sure how the next 2 months are going to pan out with the next video and the What I've Been Playing series. We'll kind of see in a month's time where I'm at with the games that I talk about. But there are a couple of games coming out this month that I want to get to, and some older games that I want to get to, and also the same thing for November. So first up, Battlefield 6 is coming out as of recording this video in a week's time, and I'm definitely going to be checking this game out. I'm going to wait to buy it, see what people are reviewing it as, launch. If that's a smooth enough launch, I will dive in, play it, play through the campaign, play a lot of multiplayer, get a review out. Very excited. Hopefully they can nail this launch. I really want to be able to buy this game and play a bunch of it. Keeper is also another game that is on my radar, coming from Double Fine. It's not a Tim Schafer game, I don't believe, but it is going to be on Game Pass. Now I know recently we've had a lot of different, a lot of new, not so great news when it comes to Game Pass. I do have Ultimate, but I will be downgrading for sure, probably to PC Game Pass, just to be able to Still get those day one games because I still play them, but $30 is just ridiculous if we're being honest. For all that, I mean, $360 a year. You gotta really play a lot of games to get your money's worth, and I play a lot of games, and even then I don't think that that's really worth it. And PC Game Pass is basically just giving me the same thing. I've also been kind of moving a lot more closely to PC, playing PC a lot more and kind of honing in on that. So that was a little bit of a side tangent, but Keeper is coming to Game Pass day one. I will be checking it out. I'm excited to see what Double Fine is up to. The creativity at that studio is always on point. Psychonauts 2 is a great game, and even though this is not going to be anything like that, I'm just kind of excited to see what this game is, how they're going to approach it. It's probably going to be a shorter game. I'm not expecting anything long out of it. So this is coming out, I think, October 17th, so a week after Battlefield 6, and planning on checking that out. One game that I wanted to check out, and I want to do some type of scary horror game for Halloween, or at least around that, and there were a couple of things I had in mind. A Little Nightmares 3 maybe, but I've kind of fallen off of that. I was thinking about doing Resident Evil 8 Village, because I want to play that game before Requiem comes out in February, but I have decided to tackle the Midnight Walk. I want to tackle this game that came out earlier this year. It is like a puzzle horror game. I'm not really entirely sure what the premise of this game is, but I did see that it got great reviews. It was something that caught my eye when it was going through the marketing cycle of it. It's a game that's pretty short, shouldn't take me long to finish at all. Should be able to get a video out kind of around that Halloween mark to have that stand for that, I guess. I want to have something that kind of works for the Halloween scary mood, and I think the Midnight Walk is something that I can knock out for a review, and it's also a game I want to play. Works well for Halloween, so it all kind of works out there. And the last one that is a maybe is Split Fiction. This is one I started earlier in the year, played through probably like 80 to 90% of it, and then never finished it. So I'm either going to go back and finish it with a buddy, or we're going to start over and go through the whole thing again, experience it, and then make a video on it, because this is something that I definitely think will probably make my top 10 at the end of the year, just based on what I played. I've heard great things about it. Even the ending I've heard really good things about. So I want to see it through, and I want to be able to make a review on it. And planning to potentially do it this month. We'll see how that goes, but I definitely want to do that before the end of the year. And now let's talk about some very early November plans, because I think the two big questions are, where's Ghost of Yotei, where's Outer Worlds 2? And because of the kind of really crowded early October, late September cycle that we got, I decided Ghost of Yotei was a game that obviously I really want to play. Just finished Tsushima, want to get into the sequel. I decided to kind of push that back. November's looking pretty empty. The only game that's coming out that we'll talk about in a second is Black Ops 7 that I do want to check out. So Ghost of Yotei I do want to play, but I'm going to push it back, play it in November, have that be my November game, get through that game. Excited to see what that game's going to do as a sequel, and loved Tsushima, so I've heard great things so far about Yotei and expecting about the same result from Yotei. So that is something that I'm going to get to in November, barring any kind of change. Same thing for the Outer Worlds 2. This one's coming out October 29th, so it's a game that I would definitely finish in November anyways, because it's going to be a pretty beefy game from what it sounds like. Not something that I'm able to get done in a couple of days, so it'll definitely be a November game, but I do want to get a video out on that, so we'll see how that pans out. And Black Ops 7 is one that I'm going to check out. It's going to be on Game Pass. I would absolutely not buy this game for the full price, but since it will be on Game Pass, I'm going to check it out, probably finish the campaign, play a little bit of multiplayer, play a little bit of zombies, experience what the game has to offer. I do want to put that video out because I'm very interested to see how that game is going to turn out, and it'll be my first Call of Duty review, and it's, from what I am expecting, it's probably not going to be a great game, so kind of interested to see how I'm going to do personally from a not great review perspective from Black Ops 7. So we'll see how that goes, but I'm definitely going to check that out. Probably not going to be on my game of the year list or anything like that in my top 10, but it is something that I'm going to check out. I want to make a video on it, and we'll see how that goes. So that is going to do it for the video. Thank you guys for watching, hanging out, talking about the games that I've been playing. Let me know down in the comments what games you've been playing recently. Let's have a great discussion about games down in the comments. Recent games, old games, doesn't matter. Let's talk about it. I've been playing a decent amount of games. There's a lot of games coming out, so I do want to be able to it's a lot of reviews that are coming out pretty soon. Not a lot of old games. It's pretty much all new games. There's a couple old ones I'd like to get to, but my main focus right now in this kind of busy September, October, even a little bit November season is to focus on new games that are coming out that I want to check out. So that is going to do it for the video. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for more, and I'll talk to you later.